Make it easier for yourself to make progress. Let there always be something that you can do that can move the needle forward for you. You may not always be able to do the hardest of the most complex tasks at the moment, but that still doesn't mean that you should take a few days off until you can. Find something that you cannot have any excuse for not doing it. Something that is so easy, something that you can always do, and make that type of work available to you all the time. So that even at your worst days, even at a random bad day where you don't feel like it, when you are not so enthusiastic or motivated, or you don't have enough energy, or you don't feel like it, you can still find something that when you do it, you move the needle forward. You can still, nevertheless, make some progress so that you don't feel like time is flying by and is being wasted for no reason, despite you having energy. But you cannot do something of that same type of work. But since you have other types of work that you are, that are available to you, that you can still hit fresh, you can jump on those things and go tackle a few items from them and call it a day. You have different types of work available to you, like different lanes of stuff that you can make progress at. So whenever you feel like you can make some progress, you have some energy, but you don't feel like doing the same thing every day, there are other types of work available to you that if you do any type of any of those things, you will still make progress. And it will not slow you down. In the bigger picture, overall, you'll be making progress at several areas at the same time, more than each of those areas alone if you focus on only one thing or one type of work only. So sometimes it is better to have several types of work that you do, as opposed to just one thing that you focus on and think that now you're faster because of this. Because the point here that I'm trying to make, sometimes you have energy to do a lot of stuff, but since the thing that you want to do is the same thing that you did yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before, you don't have energy for that. But you can do other things, which drives you crazy. I cannot do, because you're stuck with the same type of work always. You don't allow yourself to have a variety of items or types of work available to you. You only do one thing. You only do a single type of work. But if you have a lot of options, a lot of types of activities that you can call work, now you can make progress in those other lanes or type of activities or types of work without burning out. Because sometimes burning out is not from using too much energy every day, but it's because you're doing the same thing every day. You're so tired of doing that same thing again today. You cannot afford to do the same thing all the time. You cannot do this. You don't have energy for that, but you still have energy, if you know what I mean. But you don't want to do the same thing over and over again. The only solution to this that I can think of is doing multiple things, being a multi-passionate person, having several types of things or passions or work or, stuff that you can do that makes you accomplished, makes you feel accomplished, and it makes you, get some fulfillment and counts as some sort of achievement for you and is rewarding for you, available to you to do at all times. So that when you feel like, man, I want to achieve something today, but it cannot be the same type of work that I did yesterday, you have other options to choose from, several different types of activities to choose from, and then they will be as rewarding, maybe even better, or sometimes it's less, but it doesn't matter. At least you're getting some reward, as opposed to waiting for, weeks until you recover from the burnout from doing that same very type of activity that you only are stuck with doing whenever you consider working. The burnout sometimes happens from having to do the same thing only whenever whenever you feel like you want to work. But if you have a variety of options, you will burn out less often, and you will be less likely to burn out, because when you hit the other items or types of work fresh, not having done any of them in a long time, like in a week or so, you will feel like, man, I have energy for this, even though I have zero energy for the first type of activity. So this is a very good idea if you feel like you're stuck in your life, you feel like you can do more, but you cannot do more of the same thing. You have energy, but you cannot afford to spend that energy on the same type of activity, on the same type of work, on the same thing. Even if your goals are motivating, even if your vision for the future is compelling, you still don't want to do the same thing. That is a problem in and of itself. So in this case, have multiple passions and have multiple goals and have multiple types of activity, multiple types of work, and several items that you can work on, and several things that you can do, and several types of work and several types of activities, so that you never end up burning out from doing the same thing, even though you have enough energy to do more. But provided that what you're doing is, not the same thing, is providing you a sense of variety that gives you the chance to achieve progress and make achievement and get some reward today and get some achievement today and feel a sense of accomplishment today without having to push yourself to work on the same type of activity that you get bored from doing it, even if you are really passionate about it, just because it is the same type of activity, just because it is the same type of work or the same type. It's the same thing over and over again. You have to have several things that can make you get rewarded and feel like you're making progress by doing them, always available to you at all times. Like you don't have to hit the road and travel somewhere to do them. You can do them now. Like instant gratification here is a good thing because you're doing something good. So it's okay to have some sort of instant gratification when it comes to having a variety of stuff that you can do all the time that grants you a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. You don't have to do or be just one thing. It's okay to be multi-passionate and proud.